The journey of Galadriel in the Rings of Power offers a fascinating reimagining of the legendary character from Tolkien's universe. Morfydd Clark, the actress portraying Galadriel, steps into a role that had previously been immortalized by Cate Blanchett in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. However, Clark's Galadriel is far from the serene, composed elf we saw before. She is a warrior, driven by vengeance, and her performance has become central to the show's first season. In a recent interview, Clark teased some intriguing details about Season 2, especially regarding the villains, and reflected on her experiences filming key scenes, mastering new skills, and immersing herself in Tolkien's expansive world. The Rings of Power transports fans back to the Second Age of Middle-earth, long before the events of Jackson's films. This era is a crucial period in the mythology of Middle-earth, filled with both beauty and turmoil. For Galadriel, it's a time of internal and external conflict. We meet a version of Galadriel who is vastly different from the poised elf fans are familiar with. Clark's portrayal of her as a warrior, bent on avenging her brother Finrod's Will Fletcher death at the hands of Sauron's forces, adds layers of depth and complexity to the character. In Season 1, we see Galadriel on a relentless quest, believing that evil has not been fully vanquished from Middle-earth. Her journey brings her face to face with one of the biggest reveals of the season, the true identity of Sauron. This revelation was a climactic moment that shocked both fans and characters alike. The lead-up to this moment required Clark to embrace a physical, emotional, and mental transformation to fully inhabit Galadriel's tumultuous headspace. Playing a warrior elf is no small feat, and Clark had to master several new skills to convincingly portray the physicality required for the role. In her interview, she humorously recalled her struggles during early swimming lessons, where she learned that her skills weren't quite as advanced as she had thought. "I thought I could swim," Clark laughed, adding that after her first lesson, her instructor took her back to basics. Now, however, she feels confident in the water, a skill she didn't know she'd need but has since mastered. Arguably the most impressive physical challenge Clark faced was learning how to perform a two-handed sword fight. For someone who describes herself as very unambidextrous, mastering this skill was a significant achievement. Thanks to guidance from the stunt team and her stunt double, Rosalie Button Clark was able to confidently wield the sword in epic battle scenes. These action-packed moments were as thrilling for Clark as they were for viewers. "My inner child was just going bonkers," she said, expressing the excitement of playing out these larger-than-life scenarios. The biggest moment in the Rings of Power Season 1 was undoubtedly the reveal of Sauron's true identity. The dramatic confrontation between Galadriel and Halbrand Charlie Vickers, who is revealed to be Sauron, was a powerful scene that Clark and Vickers approached with careful thought and collaboration. In the interview, Clark revealed that she and Vickers spent considerable time discussing the build-up to the reveal. "We talked about everything a lot," she said, explaining how they rehearse and explored different dynamics before stepping onto the set. Despite their preparation, Vickers' full transformation into Sauron wasn't revealed to Clark until the cameras were rolling. "Charlie had never really gone full Sauron until we were on set," she noted. "When he finally delivered the chilling line, 'I've had many names,' Clark was taken aback by the intensity of his performance. This added a layer of authenticity to her reaction on screen, further enhancing the dramatic tension of the moment. The reveal scene took several weeks to film, with parts of it, including the raft confrontation, shot over multiple days. Clark described the raft sequence as particularly fun, noting that it allowed them to explore various emotional beats before ultimately landing on the climactic showdown between Galadriel and Sauron. At one point, Vickers forgot his line, "What will they say when they know that Sauron lives because of you?" which was then shouted over a speaker by the assistant director, inadvertently spoiling the big secret for the entire studio crew. Clark fondly recalled the moment, noting how secrecy was so paramount that this slip-up provided a humorous contrast. A central theme explored in the Rings of Power is the temptation of power and the fine line between good and evil. Galadriel's interactions with Sauron, particularly in the reveal scene, suggest a complex relationship between the two characters. When asked whether Galadriel was at all drawn in by Sauron's influence, Clark left the answer open to interpretation. "I kind of want to keep it ambiguous," she said. explaining that Galadriel is acutely aware of the potential consequences if she were to succumb to darkness. Clark pondered what it would be like to possess the gift of foresight, a characteristic often attributed to Galadriel. She speculated that such a gift could be as much a burden as a blessing, possibly manifesting as a heightened sense of anxiety. Is it just like increased anxiety in a way? She mused. Galadriel's awareness of her own capacity for both good and evil adds an intriguing layer to her character's arc, and Clark seemed to relish the ambiguity of her motivations. Looking ahead to Season 2, fans can expect even more twists and turns, with Clark teasing the introduction of interesting villains. While she didn't divulge specific details, her comments have fueled speculation about the dark forces Galadriel and the other characters will face in the upcoming season. Given that the Second Age is the era in which Sauron begins to consolidate his power and forge the One Ring, it's likely that these villains will be tied to his larger scheme. The prospect of more evil emerging in Middle-earth presents exciting possibilities for the series, and Clark's enthusiasm for the direction of Season 2 is palpable. Her portrayal of Galadriel has already set the stage for a nuanced exploration of morality, power, and temptation, and it seems that these themes will only deepen as the show progresses. One of the most striking aspects of Clark's approach to playing Galadriel is her dedication to fully immersing herself in Tolkien's world. Upon landing the role, Clark dove headfirst into the lore, listening to audiobooks of The Silmarillion, The Hobbit, and The Lord of the Rings. This immersion allowed her to internalize the mythology of Middle-earth, which in turn shaped her portrayal of Galadriel. She noted that many of her castmates also embraced this method, with many of them walking around set listening to Tolkien's works on their headphones. Clark expressed admiration for the Tolkien community, emphasizing that even the most dedicated fans continue to learn new things about the vast world the author created. "You could just talk about it and learn about it forever," she remarked, acknowledging that her own journey into the lore is ongoing. As the Rings of Power prepares to return for its highly anticipated second season, Morfydd Clark's portrayal of Galadriel promises to remain one of the show's most compelling elements. Her deep connection to the character, combined with her commitment to mastering the physical and emotional demands of the role, has already made her a standout in the series. With the introduction of new villains and further exploration of Galadriel's complex relationship with power, Season 2 is poised to deliver even more gripping drama and epic action. Clark's Galadriel is not just a warrior seeking vengeance. She is a character constantly grappling with forces of light and darkness within herself. This internal struggle, coupled with the external threats looming on the horizon, ensures that Galadriel's journey is far from over. Fans can look forward to seeing how Clark continues to evolve the character in the next chapter of The Rings of Power.